Shall we play a game?
Hello Vinyl community, how you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. This is going to be my contest entry for Brad over at H2Vinyl and the label game contest that he's holding for hitting 200 subscribers. Now Brad, congratulations, 200 subscriber milestone, that's great, but I was just looking at your channel and you're up to 288, so you've just sailed right past 200 and now you're just about at 300. So great job, really well done, congratulations. That is awesome. You deserve it, and you deserve a ton more. You have a really great channel. I love your passion for the music that you're into. Just really enjoy watching your videos. Really great guy, and you do a great job. Your video production is really great, one of the best out there, I think. The way you produce your needle drops and your intros, and just great stuff all around. So this is the label game, and what Brad is looking for is to show record labels and what album or song do you think of when you see that record label? Like, does it spark a memory or something about that album when you see the record label? This was quite a hard contest for me, but I'm going to do my best. I don't have that association much when I see a record label, so I'm going to do my best. And I thought, since this is the label game, what better way to get started than to show a bunch of record labels. So I'm just going to show a stack of records here, the record labels on them. No rhyme or reason, but I thought I'd just share some record labels. So the classic Blue Note, Arista, Casablanca, Cold Gems, Cotillion, Durham, one of my favorite labels, the Impulse label, Jet, Passport, Prestige, Roulette, and Sire. So I just wanted to grab a bunch and show those labels just for fun. But now to get into the actual contest. So like I said, I'm going to do my best with this. A little more challenging for me. But first up, so here's the Grateful Dead, the best of the Grateful Dead on Warner Brothers. And I have a bunch of Warner Brothers releases, but when I see this label, I always think of this album, Fleetwood Mac Rumors. And that's on the Warner Brothers label. You know, one of the best-selling albums of all time, Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Okay. So I couldn't do this contest without showing this label. This is a recent acquisition for me. It's Bo Hansen music inspired by Lord of the Rings. Great album. And it's on the Charisma label, the famous Charisma label, the Mad Hatter Charisma label. And of course, whenever I see a Charisma label, I think of Genesis. So they were on Charisma. Now their U.S. releases were on Atlantic or Atco, but Charisma is what I think of. Okay, next. So this is Crosby, Stills, Nash, and this is on Atlantic. Man, Atlantic put out a lot of albums. A lot of my collection is on Atlantic. But when I see it, I always think of Yes. Actually, Yes is playing in the background. But yeah, Yes on Atlantic. For some reason, that's what I think of. Next up, so here's the Cars debut album on Elektra. And I always think of the Doors' greatest hits. I bought this back in, most of these I bought back in high school, or a little bit earlier than high school, but I always think of this on the Elektra label. Okay, and last but not least, here is Asia's debut album, and this is on Geffen Records. And whenever I think of Geffen Records or see the label, Peter Gabriel's So always comes to mind. So hopefully I did that correctly, and that qualifies. Again, I wasn't too sure on what to do for this, but I think that qualifies. I hope so. So now another part of this contest, Brad asked for us any kind of music or record collection related story to tell. So I wish I was a better storyteller. I'm really not. But I'll tell a quick one. It's probably not interesting to anybody. But back when I was younger, we're talking maybe 13, 14 years old, somewhere around there. I would save up money every now and again, and I would ride my bike to the mall and go to the music store. And back then it was called, it changed names several times over the years, but back then it was called Listening Booth, I believe. And I think that was a chain, so you might remember that store, Listening Booth. And if you recall, they didn't have the prices on the albums. They had stickers with letters on them, and then a board or something, a display where they had the prices that correlated with the letter stickers. And I think A was the cheapest, so I think it went in order. But if you got up to D, or I don't remember the actual ordering, but you know, some of them, a double album would be, I think it was D or G or something, further down on the alphabet, and you know, it would be $15, $16 versus the $7 or $8 for a single album. So every time I would go to the record store, you know, I'd look through all the records, and of course Genesis, and I'd always look at Genesis 3 Sides Live. I never had it. You know, it always had the, whatever it was, G sticker, and it was, you know, $17, $16, whatever it was. I could never afford it. So I was at that record store a lot. You know, you're a kid, so you ride to the mall and you go to the record store, you go to the arcade. That's what you that's what you did. So especially over the summertime, I was probably in that record store practically every day in the summer. So one day I remember I rode my bike and I went by myself, and I think I had $10 with me, and I was looking through the records like I normally did. I even looked through 45s and all throughout the store, and I went over to Genesis, see what was there, and anything that I didn't have that I could afford to get. And I noticed Genesis 3 Sides Live had an incorrect sticker. So it was mislabeled, and I was able to get this for about half off of what it normally cost. So of course I scooped it right up and just stopped what I was doing. I just grabbed it, went to the counter, paid for it, and left. I didn't want any chance of this album, like someone saying, "Hey, that's the wrong price, and you can't have it for that." But grabbed it, paid for it, so got it much cheaper than what it actually cost. And I remember just like riding home on my bike, holding this thing, like holding onto it for dear life, because I didn't want to crash my bike and crash the record, and that. So that's the story on how I got this record, my first copy anyway, for much discounted. And for a 13, 14-year-old who didn't have any money, just from delivering papers or little side jobs that I had here and there, mowing lawns and or working at the rectory at my church, every little penny counted. So when you get a double album for that cheap back then, it was I was on cloud nine. So that's my story. I know probably not that interesting, but to me it's a memory that just sticks out. I'll never forget seeing it there mislabeled and getting that feeling in my spine, like, is this really happening? And so that's going to do it. That's my entry. Brad, congratulations once again. In the end, this turned out to be fun, going through all the different record labels. Hopefully my entry counts. I hope you like it, and best of luck to you and your channel. Keep doing what you're doing. Great job. I remember before I was making videos, I didn't even have my channel up and running. You had put out that video where you went through your label that you create for each record, and I remember just that was one of my favorite videos that you've ever done, and that really sticks out. Before I was even making videos, as a video that I watched before I was making videos. So I was watching your channel long before I was making videos, and that one sticks out. That was a great video. I even commented on that video in my real name. So yeah, congratulations to you, Brad. Best of luck, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you're not getting sick of me. I've made a handful of videos recently, back to back. So I have more coming up. I have a pile of records here that I haven't really shown, so I'll be doing a Vinyl Grabs video soon. And I still need to finish out my Genesis ranking series. I did the first two parts. I still need to do the third part, which is focused on the Genesis live recordings. So I hope to get to that really soon in my Vinyl Grabs video. And then, of course, there's other contests popping up. Hannah just announced a contest, so I'll be jumping on that soon, too. Everyone, I think this video is long enough. Take care. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support. It's very much appreciated. So take care. Talk to you again soon. Bye.